not a vampire, not an alien. I'm not the fucking mummy, I'm a goblin.
Hello Goblin Nation! This time I'm doing something else. I'm gonna write a story for you. And why? Well, I actually wanted to do my own kind of thing. I was not sure, I wanted to talk about it somehow, some way, some kind of thing. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about Bendis kind of thing, doing his own thing with Superman. He's been doing it the whole time! The whole time he has created things while I fell off, and I don't have anything against Bendis, but in the story he's doing with Superman, I got like a real big issue with him. I like him because he created Jessica Jones. I mean, she's my favorite character of all Marvel and DC combined. I mean, kind of thing. He created them, and other artists that did some mostly better with it, kind of thing, maybe on some points. But it's like she's my favorite story, her backstory, and that's pretty much what Bendis has done. Bendis has created this kind of story that's really intriguing, really awesome. But then he came like, you know what? I'm gonna go to DC, so fuck you kind of thing. And then he is like, I can write Superman. Nobody's gonna stop me of loving. He does his own thing easily. And if that was not a kind of thing, he also does his own retcons. Like, alright, Krypton, that is kind of destroyed by kind of thing. It didn't even get destroyed by Doomsday, Zod. You know, those things that Smallville used, that some other characters used, or even Krypton. You know, that series that's definitely awesome. The Brainiac kind of thing, like this. No, we gotta create this new character because I need the money. I need the money, man. I need the money for it. So he creates this monstrosity kind of thing, a little combination of Doomsday and something else. He's ugly. He is here. He is called Roko Zod, or something like that, and he has this abomination that apparently killed Krypton. But he's not that much of a character. He is just somebody that really hates Kryptonians, like so many other characters. I mean, there has been lots of other characters that but he needs the money for that kind of thing. He needs the money for this character. I mean, he is rich enough, he can do whatever he wants. So he let this, and then there is also the circle, this all circle, this united kind of thing, and that does this things like, okay, the Krypton is kind of becoming too strong, so we're gonna eliminate it. That's what Roko Zod was sort of like, really? I mean, everything comes back to where it was, but this is really stupid retcon. Like I said, there are so many other possibilities of Krypton to destroy. That's way better than kind of thing. But that also made Zod be included. And yes, the fight, because Superman issue 5, I think, I kind of liked. But then things happened. I'm like, I start to get dragged. I'm like, nope, I'm out of the game, man. So Roko Zod was kind of a trash kind of character. Sure, he come back. Sure, he's like this character that keeps on popping up now because Bendis is still writing it. But he also does Superman. He has also like Oz. The Oz thing is also stupid. Doomsday kind of thing. I'm like, okay, we got Oz, and this is the father of Superman. Normally he's like, okay, there are good people, but he got brainwashed. I'm like, okay, fine, I can live with that. But then he has like Bendis kind of thing. It's like, you know what? He's friendly. Like, wait, he just was a murderer. He just kind of become a psychopath with a staff kind of thing, and apparently the staff is what. But he just shows up. Bendis is like, you know what? He just shows up. Wants Superboy, and Lois is like, yeah, sure, but I'm gonna go with you. It's like, why? Why is he gonna go with him? It's like, what the hell? What the hell are you doing? But he's like, yeah, sure, okay. Superman is like, we cannot stop him, so we don't. It's like, no. And then there's the secret kind of front. Everybody's like, he's also manipulating it kind of thing. And Lois goes like, okay, I'm gonna let Superboy come back with his psycho grandfather. Yeah, that's okay, right? So she goes back to Earth alone, Sondra Superboy, and then some stuff happened, more stuff. Apparently he becomes more psycho. Who I thought that he becomes psycho kind of thing. It's like he already was psycho, and somehow nobody saw that he was still psychopath. No, I like not even a randomly psychopath like him. Anyway, so he comes back, and well, Superboy comes back 17 years old. It's like, Super Sons. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Super Sons kind of thing. I didn't like it, but I did like the dynamic with Damien and Superboy. It was great. Everybody was loving that. And Bendis came in, making now the kid is 17-year-old, and nobody's like, oh my god! I'm like, what the hell, Bendis? Really? Really? You're gonna do that? You're gonna do this to us? Kind of thing. Just making this because I don't like writing kids. He likes writing teenagers. So this guy is a teenager, and he needs to be the Legion of in the Legion of Heroes in the future. I mean, like, I'm not too bad. At least he's out the picture. But I liked Superboy kind of thing. I started to like the dynamic with the family thing going on. Why does everything has to? And this is like the stupidest reason. He just shows up 17, and time goes different to space kind of thing. It's like, really? That's why we're gonna do it? That's how we're gonna do it? That's how you explain stuff. I feel like it is this kind of thing. So that's are the three main things that I'm really hating about the Superman serum, Bendis, those retcons, and it's Bendis, so he does ignore some stuff. But those three characters are kind of thing that becomes a good guy, and they just let him go, even no matter how stupid you are. Nobody's that stupid. I see people complain that Supergirl doesn't give up on Lena, kind of thing, and I'm like, she should not give up. She should see the good kind of thing in Lena. But this is like, at least Lena you can get why kind of thing. Us didn't give anything of kind of thing of why he wants to have the kid with him. A kid of 11 years old. That would be me like my sister. I have a little sister of 11 years old. I'm just like, that strange guy. That's a little bit. It seems like a little bit off. That is maybe my grandpa, but I'm not sure. You go with him. I will tell my father that she going want to make a grandpa that I didn't know. That would be fire, right? No, that wouldn't. That would be idiotic, dangerous, very psychopathic kind of way that you should never do. But anyway, so that's are the three main things I hear about Bendis Run. I didn't get back into it, so I don't know exactly what happens. But so far as the internet is concerned, it's still not going good. I mean, there is this kind of thing, and some people are like, yeah, this could be good. Like, yeah, if he keeps that, but I think he's still on Superman Run. Maybe it's gonna end, I don't know. Either way. Now we're coming on that part of the story that I'm gonna write the story. Alright. So Bendis, let's say Bendis is like, Goblin, Twisted Goblin, Mr. Twisted Goblin, you can take over. You're the man for the story. If you can do it better, here is the story. And I'm like, oh really? Well, I don't mind if I do. And so now we have like this all story laid out kind of thing. Sure, there is Superboy Prime in the kind of Kazem kind of going on, whatever. But now I have this kind of story. I have to keep it in continuation. We had the League vs Doomsday, but Scott Snyder, he is awesome, by the way. He's an awesome writer. Donnie Wayne is also a cool writer. I think it is Donnie Wayne. Anyway, the one that did the Venom and the Carnage kind of thing. So anyway, now I'm gonna write this. So how are we gonna write this story? Well, I gonna have all this kind of thing. Let's say, because I didn't keep up with the kind of Superman story and everything. Let's just say this is for kind of thing. So we're gonna have to pull back. So instead, this new story, Superman is kind of doing his thing, and then somehow, kind of thing, Superboy appears. But not the Superboy from the future, Superboy kid. Like, wait, did you not just come from the future? And Superboy is like, what? Did I? What? No! Was he? I kind of thing went to visit my grandpa, kind of thing. And then some stuff happened, kind of thing that got me sidetracked. Like, I was crying. I mean, I was in space alone. How can you let me just be alone with my grandpa? My grandpa was a real psychopath. I would make this like, okay, it's like this story a little bit, not much retconning his story. I would just be like, there is something wrong, kind of thing. There are two versions of him, and there is this one version that's Superboy kind of thing, and we find out that Oz is a little bit of psycho kind of thing going on, trying to go like, this is how it's gonna go. This is how kind of thing. How the only way you kind of think this is like Earth. Like they go to this planet that's a little bit like Earth, has this wars going on. He's like, you cannot save them kind of thing, because this would like is Oz thing, how he saw the world kind of thing, how he saw how bad the world is, and then we get this kind of going on, and he's like. This is oh, I also forgot the kind of thing when they have the United Nation because of Superboy kind of thing, and that will also all tie in kind of thing to trying to blow that all away. We're gonna have Bendis everything here. So Superboy kind of thing is telling him how he got like kind of see his grandfather doing all this stuff. And that he had this one thing. He has something on his head, right? This little thing. Well, it seems that this is this Kryptonian kind of thing that makes his gestures easier, like this mind control thing, but not very much gestures. That like, if you like, you want to drink, but you don't want to give some expensive thing. But he's like, hey, I want the expensive stuff. So you actually wanted to give him the cheap stuff. But you give this very expensive stuff to somebody you almost not know kind of thing. It's like, hey, here's a drink kind of thing. And that's what happened. What happened? Why Lois Lane and Superman just give his son away kind of thing. And now that he sees all this kind of combined, all this kind of thing, and this goes weeks kind of thing, Superboy finally gets on. He starts to, like trying to escape his grandfather's grip, and he finds also he finds out that Superboy that his father and mother didn't want him to go, but thanks to the suggestion kind of thing, they let him go even if they don't want kind of thing. And John is still a kid, so kind of thing. So we have this whole issue, that one issue dedicated to Superboy trying to escape kind of thing, and eventually he does, but he also kind of had this kind of crash going on, and kind of thing, they create a clone of him, the clone progress of Kryptonian kind of thing. You see him doing this. This is also going in my other stories that go beyond kind of thing, but has this kind of, and it is the first time he tested this kind of thing, and he starts doing this, and the clone gets created, but an older version of the clone, 17-year-old clone, and then he says like, you know what, you have to. You go back before a Superboy can get there, but because this is Superboy, kind of a kid cannot go alone in space, kind of thing. It will take him a kind of he just does the last coordinates, and it's an escape pod, so it's gonna take a little bit while. But Superboy, this new Superboy kind of thing, this clone version, is much faster. I know clones are a little bit overdone, but for this story kind of thing, and that's how he landed. He then tells this story kind of thing, just like this made-up story, and kind of thing. So eventually, weeks later, kind of thing, the United States kind of thing has happened. Everything happens, kind of thing, and then then Superboy comes. Finally, we catched up with my story, kind of thing. And we are like, oh shit, we have to go to the future. If this is not the kind of thing, we have to first see what's kind of going on. We find out that he took over the Legion of Heroes. And I don't mean like kind of slowly, this is like the years later kind of thing in the future. This is like 4 years later, and Superboy is like on this throne kind of thing. And it's also revealed that he starts rappelling kind of gray. He's like older than now, because I want to make him much older, like 100 years older. He has like this beard going on, and still has his suit, but it's a little bit more grayer. And he's like, oh father, you finally came, a kind of thing. And also the sun is like this radiation of the sun, or even better, we're gonna go better, amazing. We have this whole big sun, like a sun that he kind of thing, like Alexander Luthor, I mean a son of Lex Luthor, or grandson of Lex Luthor. I don't know how many generations the League of Heroes kind of thing, but an ascendant kind of thing of Lex Luthor has created this sun to kind of thing. And also the right hand was on a Luthor, let's call just a Luthor kind of thing. So there is this whole kingdom going on. I want this like this League of Heroes are like mostly discovered. It's like this world became injustice. It was like a world of justice, but instead of Superman being the one that's kind of thing, it's a clone version of Superboy kind of thing, and much older, and also much grayer, because you're late a little bit. The cloning progress needs to fail a little bit, kind of thing. So they have a whole fight kind of against it. This whole arc, three mini issues kind of arc, like 3 issues of an arc kind of thing, trying to battle, trying to overcome kind of thing, together with Superboy because Superboy kid, he knows the grandfather kind of thing. He also knows himself. So eventually, after beating them kind of thing, and eventually he starts dying. And he starts to realize how wrong he was, how kind of thing. But he just wanted the world to be a better place. He wanted the world to be this better place, and the only way it could do it is by his hands. Like this twisted version of how he thought the world would be kind of thing, how he thought kind of thing. And we've also find out that like in a flashback before he dies kind of thing, that he killed Oz. We're just gonna let him kill Oz, like that he came from kind of the past, and Superboy thought he could do it better. His way is better than his grandfather, because this is like a real twisted version of a Superboy kind of thing. He becomes this much older, because he has a beard, you know. He has this cool, awesome beard and long hair. I just love that kind of thing. Anyway, so kind of thing, and that's why he kills her. So Oz is also from the table. That's all 2 characters down. So we still have Rocco Zod kind of going on. He's mostly got captured or whatever is now kind of thing. Anyway, so we go to the back to the past. We have this whole family thing. Lois is happy, says sorry that he left him by a psychopath. Like, really? Sorry I left you by a psychopath alone. But, you know, it's forgiven, because it's this suggestion thing that was on this kind of thing. And this is what Superboy could have become if he stayed with kind of with his kind of grandfather. So now we're going a little bit new. Now we have to take rid of Rocco Zod. So how are we gonna do that and have all this kind of a circle kind of thing going away? Well, we have this to be like, I would love to do on a whole minute. I feel like if anybody should have a single issue of it for himself, it would be General Zod. And so Rocco Zod is kind of this pretender. So the next issue, we have like Zod doing the thing. So we're gonna. This is probably me in Action Comics. I feel like in Action Comics you can have this spin-off of kind of thing to have like every issue a little bit different, like Superman's kind of thing. Like in Superman, if I could like. Right now I can write anything I want and retcon. So Bendis has Superman and Action Comics in his kind of scenario. What he can control, what he can master to his own will, bend to his own will. Well, now I can. And in Action Comics, like while that story is going on in the future, we are also having this story in Action Comics where we kind of go with Zod. We have all focus on General Zod and his family, because he has a family, you know? He has this kind of thing, he has this, and they have the united whatever kind of thing. But Zod feels like there is something wrong, here! I mean, we have this united kind of thing, but it doesn't feel right. Kind of thing. There is something wrong, so he kind of tries to investigate what's going on, why the thing is, and how the circle is, secret circle is kind of thing going with it. We find out that all those things were actually not real. All those other alien races, all those kind of thing, there were some manifestations of some bigger threats. So even Rocco Zod, I mean, I know I'm just throwing them under the kind of thing. It's like the only one that's real, because he's stupid and he believed everything kind of thing. So Zod finds out that this is all not real. He doesn't know what the bigger threat is yet. It's only after like this fight between Rocco Zod and General Zod comes to vision. They fucking fight. This time the sun is there. The kind of thing to empower General Zod, and even though they're like very matched, we just gonna keep them a kind of match, kind of thing. His son comes in, General Zod's son, and the mother kind of thing, not General Zod's mother, but kind of thing, comes in, smashes him, kind of thing, and his last words will be like, kind of thing, you have no idea what you have done. I'm not just here. I'm not just pretending to know that I destroyed your whole country kind of thing. I had to do this. My memory has been altered. My kind of thing. Now just on the edge of death, I finally know the truth. The truth of the Kryptonian kind of thing. The Kryptonian that was forgotten, and he dies. And then it's like Kryptonians can't forgotten. Somebody's spilling the trade. What the hell is he talking about? You know, what is he talking about? That there is some other threat going on. That there is this forgotten. Is Superman? No, that cannot be. He's not forgotten. We all know him. Kind of thing. He knows there is this threat going on, so he keeps kind of going on. He keeps on trying to think. He goes to the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing, and he's like you owe me. Your fucking Green Lantern kind of corp went into my country, my kind of stuff. I know I'm bad. I know I did some stuff and everything, but I kind of think I need like you only need to be telling me one thing, one little thing, and everything is forgiven. Everything kind of I don't know exactly how the kind of Green Lantern kind of stuff went down with the General. I know they fight. I know they actually didn't could do it from the Guardians on some point. Don't know if he beaten that because he's also General Zod's much stronger than Superman, because he had like a son with two sons kind of thing going on where he had made his home, so he's like stronger again. And the first they're like, we're not gonna tell you, and the Green Lanterns are like, okay, let's now go. He doesn't give up, starts smashing, after a few Green Lanterns get a bite to dust, it's like, fine, we give you a name, and we got like Black Zero. Like Black Zero, I know on Krypton, the TV show, it's actually not so much in person than a whole resistance, it seems. But let's say there is this like forgotten, because there is this whole Messiah kind of going on with Black Zero. Now General Zod is like, if Black Zero exists, if that's even a kind of thing, like we have waged wars. Imagine if he had the power of Kryptonians truly. Not only can he have war, and we don't know how to prepare. So he gets this. He prepares for it by also trying to have the Phantom Zone projector. He needs the Phantom Zone. He goes to Supergirl kind of thing, because Supergirl is the only one that also knows some stuff about kind of thing. So in I feel like in Action Comics you should have Supergirl, Superman, like the whole super kind of thing, all Kryptonians, like Action Comics, so that Superman should be focused on Superman and his family, while Action Comics should be focused on all Kryptonians. It's just my opinion, so I'm writing right now. I'm writing the story. I'm writing the story of what's going on kind of thing. So Supergirl comes in. So we don't have Supergirl single issues anymore. We don't have Supergirl, because that was also a kind of thing in Supergirl. It's also why I stopped reading Supergirl. They also, I don't think that's what with Bendis, but they still had that whole plot with Ben and this character. So I didn't like that. So Supergirl comes kind of thing. She is like, at first they're like not trust. I was like, I'm not gonna. You have your own family. You want me to bring your army back? Are you crazy? Giving all that past we got, all the past, I would trust you. I mean, I would like to be. Yes, I like General Zod. Of course, I'm doing everything he says, but that's, you know, big fan of General Zod kind of thing going on. So eventually, they talk a kind of thing. They're like, okay, we had this an idea. It seems the thing. She is like Black Zero, is free to attack. Eventually, they come to a compromise. Like, okay, one person you can do it. And if this threat is really big, maybe, and you win my trust. You win my trust at some point of this kind of thing. I'm gonna bring your army back from the Phantom Zone. So one person can come. We get, of course, the only person I think is even better than General Zod, certainly because I saw Man of Steel. I like it. Viora kind of thing. She actually hates a lot of women. I have hates men in general, like a very much hatred. It was only because kind of thing that Zod was the only one man he really respected. That's what I read on Wikipedia once upon a time. Anyway, she also, after that, she joined also against Superman. So there is lots of recon. Also, Fiora you can do a lot with, seeing she is not that big of a deal in comics, but I think she could be, kind of thing. And she's also the commander of the army, like the right under kind of. Actually, the commander I think is also Zod's wife, kind of thing, also under him. But who cares? Whatever, that kind of thing. Anyway, so we got this kind of threat going on. Now Fiora, Supergirl, and Zod is where we focus on, kind of thing. We have this like this on this planet. We focus most on this planet, kind of thing. Supergirl finds out there are other people on this planet. Well, there are some people that worship kind of thing, and she starts kind of friendly. Zod doesn't care, like. Yeah, if you want to do that, true, but we still need to find a kind of thing. Then they find on this planet that there's been more systems like this. That there is some agent kind of teleporter to other planets. To other planets just like this. How it is kind of thing. Like, this planet was not just kind of thing. This planet had 2 suns, yeah. Kind of thing, but Zod was not the first Kryptonian to look for a planet with 2 suns, kind of thing. And then we have like this logo of Black Zero, kind of, did I say Sun? Black Sun? Black Zero. I hope I said Black Zero, but like Black Zero, its logo kind of thing of this, because they did them in the Krypton kind of thing. We did them in Smallville, so Black Zero has been a big Civil War thing on Zod. So it's like this logo of the Black Zero kind of thing going on, that he's been there. That's also to tease that, this would tease that Black Zero is bigger threat if he has an army, if he has the kind of thing. He has other Kryptonians kind of thing with the sun energy, or he is the only one, doesn't matter. He also found planets with 2 suns. Imagine we have Superman, like we have Superman on the planet Earth all his life. He's really strong because he's been there all his life. The sun energy has been really into it. Think about that, and then how Black Zero has been on a planet maybe just as long as Superman has been with 2 suns, 2 fucking suns. That's one powerful Kryptonian kind of going on. That's like a big threat. That would be like the teaser for this arc with Black Zero, big kind of action thing. Then Superman would also come in after his whole fight, because kind of thing this was like this future, his future arc with his clone son kind of thing would be at the same time as Action Comics has this with Zod, Supergirl kind of going on, trying to investigate Black Zero. Anyway, so that's pretty much. I mean, I can talk a lot more, and if you want to hear more about kind of thing, I'm always open to new stories about how I could do kind of thing, how my comics would be, how I would do thing. This is what I would do with Bendis kind of thing, trying to pretty much, trying to throw those characters, throw all these things that happened a little bit more back and making them a better thing, making this bigger threat coming out of it. Like Black Zero, because that's a threat like Kryptonians, a big threat. Anyway, what do you guys think? You like Bendis' story more? Oh, you're like, oh my god, that's the story we needed. This is the story we all want. Like, come on, Goblin, start writing for Marvel. Alright, I'm gonna do a Marvel kind of thing. Okay, Marvel, there is this guy on YouTube that's really amazing in writing comics kind of thing, in stories. You should do this story, or you should even hire this guy. I mean, I'm not perfect in writing stuff. I'm perfect in telling stuff like this that I'm doing now. That's like the best I get for you. I hope you enjoyed this, my kind of thing of how I would do it, how I would do the comic of Superman and Action Comics, because it's like those 2 things. And I feel like my version is better, but everybody thinks their version is better. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys thoughts about me writing the Superman and Action Comics kind of thing is after Bendis? I mean, I'm sure I missed some stuff, recent stuff that he did. I mean, the Green Lantern, I don't also know the whole history about it. I didn't keep their track of it. But I would, if I really write it, I would like read it kind of thing. I would even read kind of thing, even though I'm like, I want to be sure that I don't miss anything. I want to be not like Bendis and retcon the hell out of a lot of stuff. I want to make sure that stuff happen like it should, kind of thing. Anyway, let me know what you guys' thoughts are about my version of writing this Superman and Action Comics. Let me all know! And I hope to see maybe all of you in the next one. Goodbye, my Goblin Nation.
I do it all because I'm evil, and I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need.